All right, let's be real for a second. You've got things to do. Important things. Maybe it's a project you've been putting off, a workout routine you swear you'll start tomorrow, or even just replying to that one email that's been haunting your inbox for weeks. But somehow you're still stuck. You find yourself scrolling, overthinking, getting distracted, literally doing anything except the thing you know you need to do. Sound familiar? Here's the good news. Getting things done is ridiculously simple. No, really. It's not about willpower, fancy planners, or waking up at 5 a.m. to drink celery juice and meditate for an hour. You don't need a grind set mentality or a productivity app that overcomplicates everything. You just need a mindset shift. And once you get it, getting things done becomes effortless. So let's talk about how to stop overcomplicating it and actually get things done, without the stress, without the guilt, and definitely without making it harder than it needs to be. Let's start with the big question. Why do we put things off in the first place? Because let's be honest, you're not lazy. If you were, you wouldn't even care about being productive. But here's what's happening. Your brain is tricking you. See, when you have a task in front of you, your brain immediately scans it and asks, does this feel easy or hard? If it feels hard, even slightly, you get that little pang of resistance. That's when your brain starts making excuses. Oh, I'll just check my phone real quick. I should clean my room first. Maybe I need to research this more before I start. And just like that, you've tricked yourself into thinking that avoiding the task is somehow productive. But here's the kicker. The avoidance is what's actually making things feel hard. The more you delay, the heavier the task feels in your mind. And before you know it, a 20-minute task has turned into a 3-day mental burden. So how do you break the cycle? Simple. You make the task feel easy. Think about this. Have you ever put off doing something for weeks, only to finally do it and realize it took 10 minutes? And then you're like, why did I make such a big deal out of this? Yeah, that's your brain overcomplicating things again. The trick is to lower the mental barrier between you and the task. And the easiest way to do that? Shrink the task down to its absolute easiest starting point. Let's say you need to clean your room, but it feels overwhelming. Instead of thinking, ugh, I have to clean everything, tell yourself, I'm just going to pick up one sock. Just one. That's it. The moment you do, something weird happens. Your brain realizes, oh, that wasn't so bad. And suddenly you pick up another thing. And another. And before you know it, you've cleaned half the room without even trying. This works with literally anything. Writing an essay? Tell yourself you're just going to type one sentence. Need to work out? Just put on your workout clothes. The hardest part is starting. Once you do, momentum kicks in, and suddenly, you're moving without resistance. Here's a simple trick I swear by. If something takes less than 2 minutes, just do it immediately. No overthinking. No putting it on a to-do list. If replying to that email takes 30 seconds, do it now. If putting your dishes in the sink takes a minute, do it now. This does 2 things. First, it stops tiny tasks from piling up and becoming overwhelming. Second, it builds a habit of immediate action, which makes bigger tasks feel easier too. Because productivity isn't about getting everything done at once. It's about making starting feel effortless. Now, I know what you're thinking. Okay, but what if I just don't feel like it? What if I'm not motivated? What if I'm too tired? Too uninspired? Here's the thing. Motivation is a lie. If you wait to feel like doing something, you'll be waiting forever. Successful people don't get things done because they're more motivated. They get things done because they've trained themselves to start without motivation. Think about brushing your teeth. You don't need motivation to do it, right? You just do it because it's a habit. That's exactly how productivity should feel. You don't need to want to do something. You just need to start. Most people think they need to feel motivated before they take action. But it's actually the opposite. Taking action is what creates motivation. Ever notice how you never feel like working out? Until you start? And then 10 minutes in, you suddenly feel into it? That's because your brain builds momentum from movement. So the next time you don't feel like doing something, don't sit there waiting for motivation to magically appear. Just start, literally force yourself to take the first tiny step. Even if it's just opening your laptop or writing one word. Motivation will catch up with you. Still struggling to get started? Here's a question that has completely changed the way I approach productivity. What would this look like if it were easy? Seriously, try it. Whenever you're facing a daunting task, stop and ask yourself, what would this look like if it were easy? Instantly, your brain shifts from stress mode to solution mode. If writing a report feels overwhelming, Maybe the easy version is just jotting down bullet points first. If starting a workout feels exhausting, maybe the easy version is just stretching for 2 minutes. When you reframe the task as easy, you remove the mental block that's keeping you stuck. So here's the bottom line. Getting things done isn't about willpower. It's not about motivation. It's about making things feel easy. Shrink the task down. Take the first tiny step. Stop waiting to feel motivated. Just start. And always ask, what would this look like if it were easy? Because once you make things feel easy, you'll realize getting things done is ridiculously simple, actually. You know what's funny? Once you actually start doing something, even if it's the tiniest step, your brain stops fighting you. It's like, oh, okay, I guess we're doing this now. And suddenly, the thing that felt impossible 5 minutes ago isn't that bad. I remember this one time, I had this massive assignment due. You know the kind, one of those projects that's so overwhelming, you just pretend it doesn't exist. Every day, I'd tell myself, I'll start tomorrow. And every day, I found an excuse. Oh, I'm too tired. I need to do more research first. Maybe if I clean my entire apartment, I'll feel more productive. But you know what finally got me to do it? I told myself, just open the document and type one sentence. That's it. No pressure. No commitment to finishing the whole thing. Just one sentence. And you know what happened? After that one sentence, I typed another. And another. And before I knew it, I had written a full paragraph. Then a page. Then two. And suddenly, the thing I had been dreading for weeks was halfway done in a single night. That's the power of just starting. It's like tricking your brain into action. And here's the thing, you can do this with anything. You don't need a perfect system. You don't need motivation. You just need to take the first tiny step. Because once you do, your brain stops resisting, and suddenly things feel easy. But I get it. Sometimes even starting feels impossible. You know you should do it, but you still don't. So let's talk about that. Let's say you're trying to build a habit, working out, studying, writing, whatever. Most people fail because they set the bar too high from the beginning. They tell themselves, okay, I'm going to go to the gym 5 days a week, wake up at 5 a.m., eat clean, and transform my life overnight. And by day 3, they're exhausted, overwhelmed, and back to scrolling TikTok in bed. But what if instead you started small? Like ridiculously small. What if instead of, I'm going to work out for an hour every day, you said, I'm just going to do one push-up. Just one. That's it. And if you feel like stopping after that, fine. But you won't, because the hardest part is just starting. And once you do that one push-up, you'll probably think, well, I might as well do a couple more. And just like that, you've hacked your brain into doing the thing without even realizing it. It's the same with writing, studying, cleaning, literally anything. The trick is to make the barrier to entry so low that you can't say no. Another thing that helps, making it impossible to ignore. If you want to work out, set your gym clothes right next to your bed. So the first thing you see in the morning is your running shoes staring at you like, are we doing this or what? If you need to write, leave your notebook open on your desk so you can't avoid it. If you keep forgetting to drink water, put a giant bottle next to you so it's right there. You want to make the right action the easiest option. Because if doing the thing takes less effort than avoiding it, your brain will naturally take the path of least resistance. And let's talk about distractions for a second, because we all have them. Your phone? Yeah, it's a black hole of productivity. You tell yourself you're just going to check one notification, and suddenly, it's an hour later, and you're deep into some random documentary about penguin migration patterns. Been there. If your phone keeps derailing your focus, put it in another room. Seriously, just out of reach. If you can't do that, set it to do not disturb or flip it face down. Just that tiny change makes you way less likely to pick it up. Or, if you really want to get intense, use an app that locks you out of social media for a set period. Trust me, it works. But let's say you get distracted in your own head. You start working, and suddenly your brain is like, hey, remember that embarrassing thing you did in 3rd grade? Let's think about that for 20 minutes. If that happens, try the brain dump method. Grab a piece of paper or open a notes app, and write everything that's bouncing around in your head. Grocery lists, random worries, song lyrics stuck in your brain, whatever. Once it's on paper, your brain stops trying to hold on to it, and boom, clear head, ready to focus. And here's one last thing. Stop waiting for the perfect time. We do this thing where we convince ourselves we need to have the perfect conditions before we start. Oh, I'll wait until Monday. I'll start when I have more time. I just need to be in the right mindset. But guess what? There's never a perfect time. Life is always going to be messy and unpredictable. The longer you wait, the harder it gets. So start now, even if it's messy, even if you don't feel ready, because action beats perfection every time. At the end of the day, getting things done isn't about being super disciplined or having the perfect routine. It's about removing resistance. Make things easier. Shrink the task. Get rid of distractions. And just start, because once you do, you'll realize it was never that hard to begin with. And you? You're fully capable of doing all the things you've been putting off. You just have to take that first step. So do it. Right now. You got this. The funny thing about productivity is that we make it seem so much harder than it actually is. We tell ourselves these big, dramatic stories. I don't have time. I don't have the energy. I'm just not good at this. But none of that is true. The real reason we struggle to get things done? We overthink it. We wait for motivation. We make the task feel way bigger than it is. And when something feels big, we avoid it. But now you know the truth. It's not about discipline. It's not about motivation. It's about making things feel easy. When something feels easy, you do it. And once you start, momentum carries you the rest of the way. So, if there's one thing I want you to take away from this, it's this: stop waiting, stop overcomplicating, and just start. Whatever it is, studying for an exam, getting in shape, writing that email, finishing that project, start small. Shrink it down. Take the tiniest first step. If it feels overwhelming, ask yourself, what would this look like if it were easy? And then do that, because the moment you start, you're in motion. And once you're in motion, everything gets easier. Think about it. Have you ever noticed that the hardest part of going to the gym isn't the workout? It's putting on your shoes? The hardest part of writing isn't the words. It's opening the document. The hardest part of cleaning your room isn't the actual cleaning. It's picking up the first thing. Once you do that, the resistance disappears. It's wild, right? How something that felt impossible just 5 minutes ago can suddenly feel effortless the second you just start. So right now, yes, right now, think about one thing you've been putting off. Just one. Got it. Now, what's the absolute easiest way to start? Like the laughably easy version? Maybe it's just opening a document, writing one word, putting on your running shoes, sending a single text. Whatever it is, do it. Right now. Just that one tiny step. Because once you do, you'll realize this was never actually hard. It was just your brain making it seem that way. And if you take nothing else from this video, I want you to remember this. You are fully capable of doing everything you've been avoiding. You don't need more motivation. You don't need a perfect plan. You just need to start. So go. Do the thing. And once you do, come back here and tell me how ridiculously simple it actually was. And hey, if this helped, hit that like button so YouTube knows to send you more stuff like this. And if you want more no BS advice like this, make sure you're subscribed. But more importantly, go take action. Because that is what actually changes things. You got this. Smash that like button if you're done hiding. Subscribe if you're ready to grow. Share this with someone who needs a nudge. And let's fail, learn, and grow together.